Thank you for listening to the Practice Impossible podcast. And if you like the show, if you like the episodes that you're hearing, please leave a review for us on Apple Podcasts or Stitcher or wherever you listen to your podcasts, because that's what helps us stay fresh, stay on top of the search engines, and it really helps me also understand what you want to hear. In addition, you can also go to practiceimpossible.com and leave us some feedback. Leave us a comment and let us know what topics you'd like to hear, and we'll do our best to serve you even better.
Welcome to the Practice Impossible podcast, where your host, Jude Pierre, MD, also known as Coach JPMD, discusses medical practice topics that will guide you through the maze that is the business of medicine and teach you how to increase profits and help populations live long. Your mission, should you choose to accept, is to listen and be transformed. Now, here's your host, Coach JPMD.
So today we're joined by Dr. Maria Scunziano-Singh. And Dr. Maria is a dear friend, and we've known each other for many, many years. And she helped start Access Healthcare, where I'm currently working. And she's married to Dr. P. Singh, who was interviewed on a previous episode on commercial real estate and medicine. So if you haven't heard that episode, please do check that out. But today we're going to have a conversation with Dr. Maria, who is an internist by training and also became a naturopathic doctor and practices in Hernando County. And I have to say that I'm somewhat embarrassed to say and to admit to her and the world that, after many years of having a WellCome center, a center for natural holistic medicine and comprehensive diagnosis and treatment center in Hernando County, it took me many years to actually visit the center. And I have to say, I was amazed to see what they offer there, from salt rooms to infrared saunas, and all in Hernando County, something that I think should be in Miami Beach or in LA, but we have in our own backyard in a suburb of Tampa. So I'm honored to have her on the Practice Impossible podcast, and we're going to be talking about Dr. Maria's transition from managed care to practicing more holistic medicine and the technologies that she has to offer at her center. So we're honored to have her on our show and can't wait to share this discussion with you all. So today's episode is with Dr. Maria Scunziano. And we're going to discuss alternative medicine and holistic medicine with Dr. Maria. And I'm going to let her introduce herself and tell us who she is, her background. And Dr. Maria, you take it away.
Thanks, Jude. Well, I am Dr. Maria Scunziano-Sing, and better known as Dr. Maria. And I have been around these parts in Florida for about 25 years. I have my medical degree from New York Medical College back in good old New York, and I've had that for quite some time. I also have a diploma in naturopathic medicine, so I have an NMD, which I received, more than 10 years ago. And I'm happy to say that I have been really practicing in integrative fashion for virtually all of my time as a physician. And so
you were, I joined the practice, 20 some odd years ago, and you were doing managed care at the time, but you were not certified then. Is that correct?
Exactly. That's correct.
But you were doing managed care.
Absolutely. Yes.
And running a pretty successful managed care practice, I would think.
Yes. It was a combination of talent on my part and my husband. We founded the practice that we have now, and we got underway having joined into the whole managed care arena. We came down here from New York, and we learned a lot about what it means to navigate the whole managed care business. And basically, is to offer value care, with cost savings for everyone concerned, but giving valuable care. And being a primary care physician, I had the ability to dictate what went on, how people would be, taken care of. If I could take care of them myself, I would do that. And that was the best way as far as I'm concerned. And, utilizing the other resources in managed care, using specialists as needed. We refer people out and so forth. But really, it was about taking care of the person without overutilizing and not losing control of medicine, because before managed care, fee for service, if you will, doctors would just kind of spend a lot of money doing a lot of testing, doing a lot of things, and was it really advantageous? Doing all of that and overutilizing things and technology and so forth and so on, services. But, managed care really taught us a lesson. We learned how to, pull things together, giving quality care and not overutilizing and not putting people through, so much, which happens, otherwise. And we've learned to control ourselves as physicians. It's kind of a disciplined way of doing things.
Yeah. And I know you guys did a lot of testing in your office also, because I was impressed when I first started, and you had X-rays, you had ultrasounds, you had DEXA machines in the office, and I know those are all part of cost savings.
Yeah, and using everything kind of under one roof, definitely was cost saving for us, and it was beneficial to the patient. It's like the one-stop shop.
Yeah.
People would rather go to a facility where they can have everything at their disposal, don't have to go to other doctors. But if necessary, of course, we don't do general surgery. We don't deliver babies here. And, we don't pull teeth. But we do a lot of other things in our managed care practice. And it's exciting. It's exciting because we really touch people, literally in every sense of the word. My husband and I have had a good reputation in the community, and as you have, Jude. And we enjoy interacting and with our colleagues and bringing people aboard, and we've grown the practice quite a bit. We have quite a number of providers, physicians, medical doctors, osteopaths. We have nurse practitioners. We have physician's assistants, and all the ancillary staff. We have just an amazing array of people with all offices throughout the Tampa Bay area and extending further across the state.
So how were you able to use your holistic medicine education in the managed care? I mean, because some of the services I know are not covered by Medicare Advantage plans. So
right. So the thing that I am pretty sharp on is lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And lifestyle medicine is actually a real thing, and you can become certified in lifestyle medicine. So that is something I've been doing all along. I will be sitting for my lifestyle board exam this year, the end of the year, and become part of that, which kind of gives me that additional credentialing. But I've been doing it all along, mm-hmm. And lifestyle is all about nutrition. It's about self-care, taking care of oneself, knowing how to keep the body in good shape, fitness, making sure you're doing things mindfully, conscious living, sleeping well, interacting with people, social relationships, very important.
Yeah.
So, the pillars of lifestyle are all of the above, just taking care of the basics of life, the basic elements of life that we need to. And many people just don't know how to do that, Jude.
Mm-hmm. So, and we're not taught it in medical school. Also in residency, we're all taught to prescribe medications and to read the studies. But there's, if you don't help the patients transform their being and transform the way they're doing things, it's going to be hard for them to really live a healthy life. I would say. Yeah.
So we're kind of not geared or prepped for preventive medicine. And mm-hmm. if you want to do that, you have to go via other means. You have to learn on your own. And that's what a number of us have done. We've taken that time to do it. So I knew going into medical school straight up that I was going to have to, somehow bring in that element of preventive care, because I knew it was just going to be, see patients, just hand them something or other, for whatever they were suffering with, and see it in number of months ahead. That's not the way I practice. In managed care, at least, I can see a person, who is on a plan, who's capitated. So I could see someone as every day if I need to. If the
Yeah.
person needs to come in, I can see them every day. I can see them weekly. If I feel they need my guidance in better care, in better lifestyle care, I'm going to bring them in more often. That's just the way it is. I
Yeah.
feel I have that advantage with these Medicare Advantage plans, so I can bring them in more often. That's how I incorporate my or use the integrative approach. I'll just talk to them. I'll bring it all to light. I'll guide them. I'll teach them. Yeah, I have to use the extra time to teach them.
Yeah. So I know that you transitioned somewhat from managed care to the WellCome Center, and I have to admit that I was deficient in, or I don't know if I should say deficient, but I should have seen your WellCome Center way longer than it took me to get there. Because I mean, you have a center. I would call it not just a center; it's a wellness community there that looks like it's something that should be in South Tampa somewhere. And so tell us a little about how you got to where you are now and what you're doing.
Well, I'm fortunate enough that I had a piece of land here. I have a piece of land that we purchased and in my neighborhood. So it's near to my practice. Actually, it's on the campus of my practice, one of my offices, and where I spend time in. And the WellCome Home Center is something that I've been thinking about for a long time. I was looking for a place where I could bring in my knowledge of the alternatives, which I consider really primary. I think the whole conventional thing should be called alternative. I mean, this is traditional treatment that we're doing at the center and at other wellness centers. Traditional, really ancient. Some of the stuff is ancient that we do. All right. And I utilize technique in something called pure bioenergy. And it's a form of Reiki. And it's an energy healing method. And this goes back to biblical times, for goodness sakes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really powerful. And I've learned how powerful because patients respond. And that's the beauty of it. So that's just one of the things that I do. And I mean, we really are energy. That's what everything is. We look like we're solid creatures and the chairs and everything look pretty solid, but they're really not. And we as human beings are 99.9% vacuum space and very, very small percentage, like a 0.001, solid. So we're really not solid. We are energy. We are not stationary. By no means are we stationary beings. Every split second, every millisecond, every fraction of time, everything is in motion. Mm-hmm. And there really isn't an inner and an outer. It's kind of just looking that way, right? The skin looks like it's okay. That's the external surface. And then we have an inner gut and all these internal organs. We really are like sieves. Everything is moving through us and it's all energy. It's energetic stuff, dynamic, nothing static, right? And when we say stillness, we're not truly still. I mean, we can still the mind. And if you really want to get into the spiritual element, yes, we can talk about stillness. But again, the word is very limited. Language is limited, right? It's actual motion. It's the manifestation. It's the execution that really is making the difference. So at the center, which we established in 2016, and really opened it up in 2018, with a yoga element, our yoga portion, our movement studio, which started out with yoga. That was in 2018, so we had an opening then. And we have just grown with all of our talented the talented people on this campus. I have yoga instructors. I have people who do meditation, chakra healing. We have Tai Chi coming. We did have Tai Chi. We kind of got interrupted. It's coming back. We have
massage therapy, don't you?
massage. We have massage therapists.
Yeah.
We have hypnotherapy. We have our community garden. We have IV therapy that I do, in addition to the pure bioenergy. I do IV vitamin therapy, vitamin mineral antioxidant therapy. I also do chelation, which is very powerful. Removal of metals is it's a neat thing. And the science has it. And it's just not in the regular toolbox of physicians. It's just not there. And I had to go and learn all about it. And I'm glad I did, because I'm helping people who are benefiting from it. So that we do here at the center. We have other,
but not all doctors. I am listening to this podcast may say, "Well, I'm not sure. Where did you learn that, and what's the research behind that?" So, what would you say to a doctor that was a naysayer about some of the things that you've just described, the chelation, IV therapies, and things? Because I know I've done some research, and I know that a lot of it works, most of it works. But where do you get your information from?
Yeah. Well, there's an integrative medicine association, and the Integrative American Medical Association is present in this country. You can get involved. You can become part of this and learn about other disciplines, things that you can use that are having science behind them. Yeah. And there is science behind these things. It's just not brought out in the conventional textbooks. It's not. You'll have to get textbooks on integrative medicine, and they exist. And there are integrative teachers everywhere. And Andrew Weil has an integrative school in Arizona, and that's right now the only one. But more of these medical schools are bringing in courses. For instance, for lifestyle medicine, you have these different courses, and acupuncture courses that are coming into the curricula and are open to incoming medical students. That's really something very new. It's very new, and it's exciting because I have a daughter who is going to be doing that kind of thing. She just started, and she started in a conventional medical doctorate school, and she's interested in integrative practice, so that she can bring in these type of things in her future in practice.
Yeah, and I know that there are some other things that I recently started researching, and that's infrared saunas. I think you have an infrared sauna at the center as well.
We do, and the sauna is really another fascinating tool. It's a wonderful tool. It has a capacity for detoxing you. It has anti-inflammatory effects, and again, there's science to show this, which is beautiful. For improving your cell health, your cellular health, to improve your immune system, to alleviate pain. And we have a dry infrared sauna. We don't have the wet sauna that most people would think of. That kind of steamy bath looking like atmosphere. This is a dry sauna. And you can go in with just light clothing or bathing suit and just take that heat in. It's a dry heat. It's like going to the desert, and getting that dry heat, and your joints and everything, your bones and everything feel much better. You just feel better with it. So there's a lot of push for this, the infrared. Yeah.
And why do you think that there is not much push in medical schools for these types of therapies? Because, there's infrared saunas, the salt rooms. I know that you have one as well. Why is there not a big push?
Yeah, well, that's kind of a loaded question, and the answer would be probably taking me a few hours to do. So I don't know that we have that
the short version of the answer.
Yeah. Well, as they say, it comes down to economics. If something like this, like a sauna session, which is going to cost you a few dollars, say $1 a minute, and you're in there for 40 minutes. Okay, $40. And this takes pain away, reduces the inflammation, makes your skin cleaner, makes your airways feel better. That's pretty inexpensive. Yeah. And that means, oh, wow, I might not have to take those drugs or go to that particular facility and go to a doctor or whatever. And some people, they have them in their homes. They have infrared saunas right in their homes. They purchase them. And for those who can't afford to do that or don't want them, have not the room, they come to a place like the Om Center, and we have it. We offer it. And we also offer a salt room. The salt room is absolutely wonderful. I mean, that place is so busy. It is so busy. I mean, and it has got so many benefits. My gosh, the salt room, when you inhale the dry salt, it's as if you're at the ocean side, number one. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit wetter there. But according to the Salt Therapy Association, if you spend 45 minutes in the salt room, it's like spending a couple of days at the beach. Yeah, and the effects are wonderful. The salt is bactericidal. That makes a lot of heads turn. It's mucokinetic, hydrophilic, anti-inflammatory. It can eliminate foreign substances. It helps to enhance the mucociliary blanket so you can get things out that are stuck. It's beneficial for asthma and COPD and bronchitis and sinusitis and congestion in general. Smokers who are trying to quit, they just love the salt room. And it's like a cave. It's really nice. It's got a nice ambiance, and you just relax in there. I mean, we have people booked every day virtually for the salt room. They love it, and it's peaceful. And you can go in there with your loved ones. You can go in there on your own. You can go in there with a friend, and we can do things in there like meditate. We can give therapy, other therapies in there. And it's just it's a great atmosphere. So for people who have respiratory ailments, I mean, it's actually being used for a lot of ailments, a lot of skin conditions, just overall well-being. People feel great in the salt room. It is totally benign, and it's totally really effective.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you've been doing this 20 plus years, 25 years, right? 25, 30 years. You have a young physician coming out of residency, hearing some of these technologies that they may not have heard in medical school. What would be the one thing you could tell them such that by doing it would make their lives easier and they wouldn't have to go through some of the pains that you've gone through?
Well, yeah, they just, whomever, just come to me, just call me anytime. I am totally available 24/7. Yeah, I would say, that one, if you're interested in any of these type of therapies, there are ways of becoming trained and certified or having the staff who knows how to do this, working with you. Mm-hmm. And so they can be there right on site with you, which, I have them here and we work together. But, there's like the different associations that will teach you about sauna, teach you about salt. The salt itself has an association. There's a Salt Therapy Association. And to learn about more integrative practices, you'll have to work with an integrative organization. And we have that. There's an integrative association. And we have people who are part of it, and they have the benefits of having education. There's CMEs available for physicians. And so you have a lot of really resources within that framework of the Integrative Association. So I'm definitely part of that, and I'm glad that it's there and I use it as a resource.
So you would tell them to get educated on this and to
I would say absolutely. I mean, anybody who, wants to really extend their skill or their talent. They have an interest in the holistic approach, because again, when we are training in conventional programs, we're really learning a reductionist approach. We're not doing a holistic approach. And as far as I'm concerned, when you go and you see a person's leg that has something wrong with it, that's it. You just focus on the leg. If you see, a person has an injury or something like that to the head, okay, just focus on that. If it's an injury, we can work with it. Actually, you can work with it in an integrative way. You don't have to just take a drug for it. You can use something else. There are other technologies to use and/or hands-on therapy to use. You can use oils. You can use different types of inhalation. Again, there's so many options other than drug therapy. So, you are in a position, like I said, as an integrative physician, to know more. You have more in your toolbox. Actually, there is no box, if I may say. There is no box. It's pretty wide open. And once you learn about herbs and learn about how powerful they are and what you can do with them, and yes, there's science behind them, and yes, they've been used for thousands of years, many of them, and some of them that have come up. I mean,
Sure.
Turmeric is all the buzz, it's a spice and it has so much power to it, but there are so many others out there. I mean, really, you're talking about like a world of remedies, for so many things, and we have them, but we don't know about them when we're in medical school training.
Yeah.
There's so much more to learn, and I encourage anyone who is interested in, like I said, a more holistic approach, out of the box approach, and having so many things at your disposal. Your knowledge base is enhanced. You'll be so much more satisfied. Patients are just satisfied. They're looking for you. They're looking for this type of person. So when they come to me, they're coming because somebody else has a deficiency in the knowing. They don't know what it means to use these other things. And these people are frustrated. So I think that it's going to be, the future. The integrative approach is really the future. The future is now, and it's just going to grow as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Maria, thank you so much for spending this much time talking about the things that you do. And I know our audience is going to be pretty excited to learn about some of these things, because I didn't know about them before speaking to you. And so what we'll do is we'll put some of the show notes and some of the things that you discussed here in the show notes. And how can we find you? How can our listeners find you?
Let's see now. Should I give out my home address?
No.
Yeah, on as far as a website, right? We are on WellComeCenter.com. Well, 2 L's, right? COME, OM, center.com. And that is located at 4242 Lake in the Woods Drive in Spring Hill, Florida, 34607.
Cool.
And our phone number at the center is really easy to remember. It's 352 area code 600-4242. So that's our address. It's 4242.
That's neat.
And the buildings are actually, each building we have 3 buildings on the campus, and each one has its own number. But when you GPS it, it'll bring you to the whole campus.
Cool.
And
Thank you so much, Dr. Maria. It's great talking to you, and I'm sure we'll see each other soon.
Oh, thank you, Jude. Absolutely. All the best, and thank you.